This conference will now be recorded.
ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् Namaste. Now we will see the meaning of the namas in the 24th verse of Shri Vishnu Sahasranama based on Shri Shankaracharya's commentary. First, the verse Agranir Gramani Shriman Nyayo Neta Samiranaha Sahasramurdha Vishwatma Sahasraksha. The namas in this verse are Agranihi, Gramanihi, Shriman, Nyayah, Neta, Samiranaha, Sahasramurdha, Vishwatma, Sahasraksha, Sahasrapat. There are 10 namas here. Let's take up the meaning of each of these. Agranihi. Agram prakrushtam padam nayati mumukshun iti agranihi. The one who leads those desirous of liberation to agra, the great state of liberation. So here in the term agrani, there are two components, ni and agra. Ni means the one who leads. Ni prapane. So the one who leads. So where does he lead? Agra. Agram refers to prakrishtam padam. The very high, the very great state. The very high, very great state of liberation. The Sachidananda Swarupa or the great Paravaikuntha Dhama. So the one who leads us to that state is the Paramatman by doing Sharanagati, by surrendering, by doing Bhakti. So the Paramatman will take the devotees to that state. And hence the one who leads us to that Agra is Agrani. The second term is Gramani. Bhutagramasya Netrutvat Gramani. The one who leads all the beings. So here also Ni is the one who leads. Grama. Grama generally means village, but the meaning, there is another meaning of the term grama, which means the uh, together or a group. So grama also means a group. A group of certain entities is also called as grama. So gramani means the one who leads the group of entities. So or the one who guides the group of entities. So what is the grama which is indicated here? Bhutagrama. So bhutas refers to the jivatmans, the sthavara jangamatmaka jivatmans. So the one who leads these bhutas, these beings, the jivatmans, to manifestation. So he is Gramani. Not only that, even during existence. So from the unmanifest state, he is the one who leads the bhutas, the jivatmans, to their existence in the form of sthavara and jangama. Sthavara is non-moving and in the form of trees, etc. And jangama, the moving plants, the moving birds, animals, etc. So the one who leads Jivatmans to the state of manifestation, he is Gramani. So even during the manifest state, during when the creation exists, the one who guides, who leads all the Jivatmans in their life, being the Antaryamin, who guides, who directs, so he is also Gramani. And finally, the one who leads the devotees or those jivatmans who are mumukshus to the ultimate state of liberation. So he is again, through this term also can be interpreted as Gramani. So the guide, the leader of the jivatmans towards manifestation in the during the creation and also towards the great state of liberation. So he is Gramani. Then the third nama is Shriman. Shrihi Kantihi Sarvatishayini Asya iti Shriman. Shri is lustre, light, glow. And what kind of a glow? The lustre that surpasses all, the one who is endowed with such all surpassing a glow or light is Shriman. So previously also in the term Dhama, Dhama was interpreted as Jyotihi, light. And so that light is Shri, and what kind of Shri? Matchless. So that light which cannot be matched with anything. So unsurpassed source of light. And so he, hence, that is Shri, and the one who is endowed with this is Bhagavan Narayana, and hence he is Shriman. The fourth nama is Nyayah, Pramananugrahakah, Abhedakarakah, Tarkah, Nyayah. The argumentation that blesses modes of valid knowledge and leads to non-dual state is Nyaya. So Nyaya generally means Tarka. Tarka means argumentation. And how should argumentation be? Argumentation should be Pramananugrahaka. Pramana means modes of valid knowledge. What are the modes of valid knowledge? Direct perception through the sense organs, touching, seeing, tasting, smelling. So this is valid knowledge through perception. Then inference, inferring various things by looking at various circumstances. And then verbal testimony in the form of uh, knowledge that we receive from trustworthy sources, in the form of statements from trustworthy people. So verbal testimony. And there are such pramanas which are considered as modes of valid knowledge. So those modes which give us trustworthy knowledge is pramana. And here Bhagavan is described as tarka or argumentation, that is not only pramana but pramana anugrahaka, means tarka or argumentation should always bless the modes of valid knowledge. So uh, argumentation is systematic thinking, so organizing. So how does this argumentation help? Actually, argumentation or logical reasoning, rather logical reasoning will be the appropriate term. So the logical reasoning and arrangement that should be, that should complement the pramanas. See, these pramanas, be it perception, inference, or verbal testimony, they give us inputs. And tarka, by logical reasoning and logical arrangement of things, so it should help in organizing the inputs derived through the pramanas. So though valid knowledge is attained, without proper logical organization which comes through tarka, the pramana will be of no use. Though I have valid knowledge, if I don't have a logical uh, sequencing of it, then it is of no use for me. Or the other way also, I merely uh, am capable of tarka, argumentation, or logical thinking, but I don't have valid inputs. That is also of no use. So logical organization or tarka or reasoning should go along with the pramana. So argumentation or logical reasoning should be in such a way that it complements or blesses or enhances the inputs gained through valid modes of knowledge. And by this tarka and also the knowledge through pramana, where should we go? We have to go towards abheda, the non-duality. So Acharya Shankara says that the argumentative acumen, which always tries to see a system, order, logical flow, and which arranges the valid knowledge input, should lead us to the path of non-dual self-realization, that the jiva, jagat, paramatman are one and the same. So towards that abheda, non-dualism, argumentation with inputs from valid knowledge should lead us. So that is what has been stated in the Vedanta also. Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Shravana is listening or gaining knowledge, kind of pramana, receiving inputs. And Manana is the tarka part, yuktibhish chintanam. So I received so many inputs, so about the atman, brahman, liberation, and other concepts. I have listened a lot. I have gained through the pramanas, through the vedas, through the upanishads, through the teachings of the teacher. So I have gained lots of inputs, and now comes the role of tarka, where that is called as manana, where yuktibhihi chintanam. I start reasoning out. I start evaluating the inputs, valid inputs that I have received, and sequencing them and organizing them systematically. So this leads to a clear understanding. Listening or gaining inputs happens all the time, and there is a constant influx of inputs, and those inputs have to be arranged, have to be organized, so that it convinces or it leads us to a clear understanding. So tarka is at the heart of the manana process. So without tarka, manana cannot happen, and tarka should happen on the shravana that has happened, gaining of knowledge that has happened. So the parama and this tarka is to be, or the knowledge that is received has to be treated with this tarka. Shravana has to be treated with this manana, the tarka process. And what is the content of that shravana? It is advaita jnana. So shravana on advaita should be treated with tarka, which should again lead to the firming up of the knowledge that there is advitiya atma. So that that tarka which is a very vital link between Shravana and Nididhyasana, which is very important. So that Tarka is glorified here as the Paramatman himself by the term Nyaya. That is what is very insightfully taught to us by Acharya's Bhashya, where he says, Pramananugrahakaha Abheda Karakaha. So, that which blesses the Pramana in the form of Shravana and that which leads to the Nididhyasana through what is that which blesses the Shravana? Tarka. What leads to Abheda Jnana, leads to Abheda Avasthiti, that is tarka. So that tarka or nyaya or logical organizing of knowledge, that itself is glorified as Bhagavan Narayana, and hence this is a very important term. The fifth term is Neta. Jagadyantra Nirvahakaha Neta, the one who operates the world machine. So Neta is the one who leads. So here Acharya interprets the term Neta as the one who manages, the one who operates. Nirvahakaha. So what does he lead or what does he organize? What does he manage? He manages this great machine of Jagat. There are so many systems and subsystems that operate or that exist in this universe, and all that go about in a precise mechanical way. And who is the one that operates this great machine? So in the world we see the seasons, they come and go in a systematic manner. The earth, the sun, all these, they go about their task, and all the forces of nature, they perform their duty. So all these go about in a precise manner and in a very mechanical, systematic manner. And such these systems are managed by the Nirvahaka, who is none other than Bhagavan, and hence he is called as Neta. Nirvahakaha, the manager, the one who operates this great machinery of Jagat. The sixth term is Samiranaha. Shvasanarupeణ bhutani cheshtayati Samiranaha, being the breath, the one who animates the beings. So Samirana is a synonym for Vayu, and this Paramatman in individual beings is like the Prana. So he is the Prana Vayu. So as the Prana Vayu, also without that Prana, no one can survive. So when the prana leaves, an entity is called as dead. So the one who is present as this vital force and animates all the beings by being the prana, bharta san bhriyamano vibharti. So the one who supports all the beings in the form of the prana, Bhagavan is called as Samiranaha. Seventh name is Sahasra Murdha. Sahasrani Murdhanaha Asyeti Sahasra Murdha. The one who has thousands of heads. He is Sahasra Murdha. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha. The Veda, in the Rig Veda, in the Purusha Sukta, we find this mantra. All the heads of the living beings that we see are the heads of the Paramatman himself, the Virat Purusha, who is present in all the created beings. So all the heads that we see are the heads of the Paramatman himself. He lives, he resides in all the beings. So that is indicated by the term Sahasramurdha. Vishvatma. Vishwasya Atma. The soul of the universe. So, being the Antaryami, it is he who stays within and operates everything. At the core of our existence lives this Paramatma, and hence he is called as Vishwatma. Nothing happens at every happening with every being, within every being, we see Paramatman. Not a single thing can move without the will of the Paramatman. Tena vina trunamapi na chalati. Even a blade of grass will not move without the will of the Paramatman, and hence the Bhagavan here is glorified as Vishwatma. The ninth nama is Sahasraksha. Sahasrani Akshini Akshani va Yasya. The one who is endowed with thousands of eyes or senses. He is Sahasraksha. Sahasra Aksha. Sahasra Sahasrani thousands. Aksha. The word Aksha is interpreted in two ways. It is either taken as Akshini or Akshani. Akshini means eyes. Akshani means the senses. So Akshi is eyes and Aksha refers to all the senses that includes the eyes also. So in the same Purusha Sukta, which was quoted as part of Sahasra Murdha, Sahasrashirusha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat. There we see that all the senses that operate in all the beings, it is the same Chaitanya Swarupa Paramatman who operates in touching, in seeing, in listening, in tasting. All these experiences to all the beings happen because of that Nitya Chaitanya Satyajnana Ananta Swarupa Paramatman. So, in all the senses, in all the eyes, in all the heads, we see the Paramatman. Every living entity that we see that is animate with its head, with its senses, is the animation or the activity or the expression of the Paramatman himself. Towards this Advaita Bhava, these namas contribute. Every activity, every movement of the sense by every being around is to be taken as the expression of the activity of the Paramatman himself. The 10th nama, Sahasrapath. Sahasrani Padaha Asyeti Sahasrapath. The one who is endowed with thousands of feet. So in the same way, Sahasra Murdha, Sahasraksha, Sahasrapath. So thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, thousands of innumerable sense organs, innumerable feet. All these are nothing but the expressions or the manifestations of the glory of the Paramatman himself. So to, to promote, to contribute to that Advaita Bhava, these expressions, Sahasrapat, Sahasraksha, and also Sahasramurdha, they contribute. And also uh, the Virat Purusha, in the Purusha Sukta, we see that the commentators present it as the description of the Virat Purusha, which means that all the heads constitute the head of that Virat Purusha. If the if the entire manifest creation is taken as one entity, one Purusha, that Purusha is called as Virat Purusha. All the heads of all the beings constitute the head of the Virat Purusha. Similarly, all the eyes or all the senses of all the beings constitute the senses or the eyes of the Virat Purusha. And similarly, all the feet of all the living beings, they constitute the feet of that one great glorious Virat Purusha. So, in this way, seeing the entire manifest creation as one divine organic manifestation or one divine organic entity. So, that idea is promoted through these terms Sahasramurdha, Sahasraksha, Sahasrapath. And this is the glory of ancient Indian wisdom that promotes the idea that we are not, though we seem to be innumerable, divided by language, divided by state, divided by country, divided by lifestyle, but we are all part of the same organic single Virat Purusha, the divine glorious manifestation, which is in the form of the creation. So that idea, that wonderful unifying sattvic knowledge is promoted by these terminologies, which this unification of knowledge has its substratum in that one Shuddha Satchidananda Chaitanya, upon which all these, from which all these manifestations emerge, and that Satchidananda Swarupa Narayana is the Paramatman. So, in this way, these namas promote the convergence which help overcome the apparent divergences and disparities and differences. So, with these 10 namas in this verse 24, we have thus far completed 228 namas. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu.